Sairam students, welcome to part 3 of our lesson, The Proposal. What did we see in part 2? Let's have a short recap of the same. So we saw that Natalia and Lomov are into a conversation. Basically, they're into an argument. Both of them say that Meadows belongs to them. Lomov says it is his property, and Natalia says that no, this property belongs to her. And when they're just trying to figure out what is happening, they are literally, they're blaming each other for many things. Natalia says, that all this while we considered you as a good neighbor. Okay, we gave you our threshing machine, we postponed our work, and this is what we get in return. Okay, and then Lomov is trying to make her understand, that property, okay, that he got from his aunt, and his aunt's grandmother had given to Natalia's father's grandfather, and they had a deal. Okay, for some time, she said they could use it, and it was somewhere close to 40 years that those peasants used that land, and they got accustomed, in saying that that particular land belonged to them. And Lomov also said that, he could prove that this property was his property. Natalia says that, this land is not a very big land and doesn't cost much. But the reason she was arguing was, she cannot stand unfairness. Okay, so when they are having this argument, what happens is Shubakov enters, and then Natalia tell him, Papa, who is the actual owner of Oxen Meadows. And then he says, Darling Lomov, it is us. Okay, the Chubakovs are the owners of Oxen Meadows. And that is where we stopped yesterday, students. Let's continue further. Just keep a book and a pen handy, students. Lomov, but please, Stepanovich, how can they be yours? Do be a reasonable man. My aunt's grandmother gave the meadows for the temporary and free use of your grandfather's peasants. The peasant used the land for 40 years and got accustomed to it as if it was their own when it happened that. Because he's just trying to say, no, my grandmother gave it, my aunt's grandmother, gave it for a temporary use. And the peasants got accustomed, got used to, to say that, it belonged to them. And then when he was saying something, Shubakov interrupted. What did he say? Excuse me, my precious. You forget just this, that the peasants didn't pay your grandmother and all that because the meadows were in dispute and so on. So he just said, oh, hello, wait. Okay, my precious. Again, he's trying to say, my dear. Okay, the peasants didn't pay your grandmother at that point of time. Why? Because this property was in dispute. And then he says, and now everybody knows that they are ours. It means that you haven't seen the plan. So he's saying now everybody knows that Oxen Meadows belongs to us, the Chubakovs. And then he says you must not have seen the plan, the layout, maybe you have not seen. Lomov, I'll prove to you that they are mine. He says, wait, I'll prove to you that property belongs to me. Chubakov, you won't prove it, my darling. Lomov, I shall. Chubakov, dear one, why yell like that? You won't prove anything just by yelling. I don't want anything of yours and don't intend to give up what I have. Why should I? And my beloved, that if you propose to go on arguing about it, I would much sooner give up the meadows to the peasants than to you. There. So Shubukov says that you won't be able to prove, my darling. Lomov says, I shall. Okay, and then Shubukov says that why are you shouting like this? Okay, just by shouting, you cannot prove anything. And then he says that I have no intention of giving up my land. Okay, and I don't want anything that belongs to you. And then he says, if you continue to argue like this, I would give away the land to the peasants, okay, but I will not give it to you. Lomov, I don't understand. How have you the right to give away somebody else's property? So he's questioning. I mean, I don't understand what are you trying to say, and how can you give away somebody else's property? That property does not belong to you. And how come you can give it to the peasants? This is what he tries to say. Chubukov, you may take it that I know whether I have the right or not. Because, young man, I am not used to being spoken to in that tone of voice, and so on. I, young man, am twice your age and ask you to speak to me without agitating yourself and all that. So he says, see, whether you believe or no, okay, that I have the right over the property or not, okay, please don't speak to me that way. I'm not used to, nobody has ever spoken to me that way. So please don't, even you don't speak to me that way. Okay, because young man, I'm not used to be spoken in that tone of voice. So nobody in my life has ever spoken to me that way. And even you don't do that. I am twice your age. Okay, and speak to me without agitating, without revolting tone. Okay, lower down your voice. This is what he wanted to say. Lomov, no, you just think I am a fool and want to have me on. You call my land yours, and then you want me to talk to you calmly and politely? Good neighbors don't behave like that, Stepanovich. You are not a neighbor, you are a grabber. Okay, so to have me on, what does this mean? Basically, he's saying that, you try to make someone believe something that is not true. So he said, you are telling that the land belongs to you, and then you want me to talk politely? How is it possible? And then he says, good neighbors, they don't behave like this. Okay? And then he says that, oh, you're not a neighbor, you are a grabber. Chubukov, what's that? What did you say? Natalia, Papa, send the mowers out to the meadows at once. Chubukov, what did you say, sir? So when Lomov says that you are not a neighbor, you're a grabber. Okay, to which Shubukov says that, oh, what did you say? And then Natalia says that, Papa, send the mowers, that grass cutting machine, right away to the meadows. And then Shubukov once again says, he asks, what did you say? Natalia, oxen meadows are ours, and I shan't give them up, shan't give them up, shan't give them up. Lomov, we'll see. I'll have the matter taken to court and then I'll show you. So Natalia says that, oxen meadows, they are completely ours and I am not going to give it up. Okay. And Lomov says, okay, we'll see. I'll take the matter to the court and then I will show you to whom, to whom does this oxen meadows belong. Shubukov, to court? You can take it to court and all that. You can. I know you. You are just on the lookout for a chance to go to court, and all that. You pettifogger, all your people were like that, all of them. Then Shubakov says that where do you want to take this matter to? To the court? Go ahead. Take it to the court. I know how you are. Okay, you're just waiting for a chance, to go to the court. And then he says, you pettifogger, you cheater, all your people were like that, which means he's trying to say that his entire family, whose family? Lomo's family, all the people in his family were that way, which means he says that all of them were cheaters. Lomov, never mind about my people. The Lomovs have all been honorable people, and not one has ever been tried for embezzlement like your grandfather. So he says, never mind about my people. Okay, they are very honorable people, and not even a single person has been tried, they have been charged for any theft. Embezzlement is theft, like your grandfather. So now it's a blame game that's happening between the Lomovs and the Shubakovs. Shubakov, you Lomovs have had lunacy in your family, all of you. So what is lunacy? Is basically madness. So he's trying to say all of you, all of them in your family, they are mad. Natalia adds, all. Shubakov, your grandfather was a drunkard, and your younger aunt Nastasia Mihailovna ran away with an architect, and so on. So again over here the blame game continues. He says that your grandfather was a drunkard, your younger aunt, she ran away with some architect. So this is just a blame game that is going on. Lomov, and your mother was humpbacked. Okay, hump means when there is a curve in the back. Okay, and he clutches his heart, he touches his heart. Something pulling in my side, my head, help, water. Okay, then he says, oh, something is happening to me. He touches his heart, he keeps his hand on his heart, and then he says, oh, something is happening to me, my head, please help me, someone, give me water. Shubakov, your father was a guzzling gambler. Your father was a hungry gambler. Natalia, and there haven't been many backbiters to equal your aunt. So your aunt was, she was very fond of gossiping. She loved to speak behind someone's back, and there is nobody who can match up to her. She was that good. Shubakov, my left foot has gone to sleep. Now students, basically this cannot be Shubakov's dialogue. It has to be Lomov's dialogue. Okay, but in the book it's printed Shubakov. My left foot has gone to sleep. You are an intriguer. Oh, my heart! And it's an open secret that before the last elections, you breathe. I can see stars. Where's my hat? So now he's trying to say something, that my left foot has gone to sleep. It's numb. Okay, you are an intriguer, which means you are a plotter. You are plotting against me. Oh my heart, something is happening to my heart. And then he's trying to say something. It's an open secret before the last election. When he didn't even complete that statement, he said, I can see stars. Something was happening, something wrong was happening to him. And then he asks, where is my hat? Which means he wants to leave at the earliest. Natalia, it's slow, it's dishonest, it's mean. Okay, so she says that it's very low. How to what extent you can go. It's dishonest. Dishonest is you're telling lies, and it's mean. You cannot be that mean. You're being very, very mean. Shubakov, and you are just a malicious, double-faced intriguer. Yes. Lomov, here's my hat. My heart. Which way? Where's the door? Oh, I think I'm dying. My foot's quite numb. Okay, and then again Shubakov says that you are a cheater. And then Lomov says, here's my hat. My heart, which way? Then he searches for the way to leave the house. Where's the door? I think I'm gonna die. My foot's quite numb. He goes to the door. Shubakov, following him. And don't set foot in my house again. Dare you come back to this house. Okay, don't do that. Natalia, take it to court, we'll see. She said, okay, you want to take it to the court? You take it, we'll see. Lomo staggers is he's walking out with a lot of difficulty. Shubakov, devil, take him, walks about in excitement. So he says, devil, he says that let the devil take Lomo away. Natalia, what a rascal, what a cheater. What trust can one have in one's neighbor after that? So she says, now how can someone, have faith, have trust in one's neighbor? Shubakov, the villain, the scarecrow. So he is using all these adjectives for Lomov. What's a scarecrow? A human dummy kept in field, so that the birds don't come and eat away the grain. Natalia, the monster. First he takes our land and then he has the impudence to abuse us. So she's also calling, she's saying that Lomov is a monster. First of all, what has he done? He has taken away our land. He's trying to take away their land. And then he has the impudence. He has the rudeness to abuse us. Shubakov. And that blind hen, yes, the turnip ghost, has the confounded cheek to make a proposal and so on. What? A proposal? And then only Shubakov knew, why Lomov was there. And then he's, what all things he calls. He calls him a blind hen, a turnip ghost, has the confounded cheek to make a proposal. To which Natalia says, what? What proposal? Shubakov, why? He came here to propose to you. Natalia, to propose? To me? Why didn't you tell me so before? So, Natalia asks, what proposal are you talking about, Dad? And then Shubakov says, oh, he was here to propose to you. Okay. And then Natalia is shocked. Oh, propose. He was supposed to propose to me. Shubakov. So he dresses up in evening clothes. The stuffed sausage, the wizen-faced frump. Okay, so then he says, oh, that's the reason he was all dressed up, in an evening dress. And then he calls him a stuffed sausage, a non-veg preparation. A wizen-faced frump. Now, what's a wizen-faced frump? It means that his face was, had wrinkles and he looked very unattractive. Natalia, to propose to me? Falls into an easy chair and wails. Bring him back. Bring him here. So Natalia, she wails, she cries. She's surprised, oh, this man was here to propose to me. Please bring him back, get him back over here. Shubakov, bring whom here? Natalia, quick, I'm ill. Fetch him. Hysterics. Okay, so Shubakov is like, oh, bring whom here? Natalia, quick, I am not feeling good. Fetch him, get him. Hysterics is madness. Shubakov, what's that? What's the matter with you? Clutches at his head. Oh, unhappy man that I am. I'll shoot myself. I'll hang myself. We have done for her. Okay, so he says that, what's that? What are you trying to say? What is wrong with you? And then he clutches his hand. He holds his head with his hands. And then he says, I am a very unhappy man. I will shoot myself. I'll hang myself. What have we done for this girl? And what does Natalia say? I am dying. Fetch him. I am gonna die. Get him back. Shubakov. Tufu. At once. Don't yell. So what does he say? Keep quiet. Okay, at once. Stop shouting. Foo. At once. Don't yell. Runs out. A pause. So he leaves the room at the earliest. Natalia. Natalia Stepnovas wails. She's still crying. What have they done to me? Fetch him back. Fetch him. A pause. Shubakov runs in. So Natalia is still crying. Okay, and then she says that what have they done to me? Get him back. Get him back. And then Shubakov runs in. Shubakov. He's coming, and so on. Devil, take him out. Talk to him yourself. I don't want to. Natalia wails, fetch him. So he goes out and then he comes in again and then he says, okay, fine, he's coming. The devil is coming. Okay, you talk to him. I don't want to talk to him. And Natalia says she's in her own world. Fetch him, get him back for me. Shubakov yells, he's coming, I tell you. Oh, what a burden, Lord, to be the father of a grown up daughter. I'll cut my throat. I will. Indeed. We cursed him, abused him, drove him out, and it's all you. You. So he says, he's coming. I'm telling you. He yells, he shouts and says that he's coming. That is what I told you just. And then he says, oh, what a burden it is to be a father of a grown-up daughter. I'll cut my throat. I will indeed. I'm going to cut my throat. What all things we did? We cursed him. We abused him. We drove him out of the house and all that. And it's all you. You have done that. It's only you. And Natalia says, no, it was you. So when Shubakov says all these things, Natalia says, no, I didn't do that. It's you who did that. Shubakov, I tell you, it's not my fault. Lomov appears at the door. Now you talk to him yourself. So Shubakov says, no, it's not my fault. Let me tell you. Okay, it's not my fault. And when they are having a conversation, when Shubakov and Natalia, they are having a conversation, who appears at the door? It's Lomov who appears at the door. And then he says, Shubakov says, you talk to him, I will not. So students, let's stop here and see and wait to see that what happens, whether Lomov talks to Natalia or he doesn't. We'll see this in the next class. So don't forget to click on the link which has come along with this video link. We'll catch up in the next class. Take care of yourself. Sai Ram and bye-bye.